Derogatory. You know, people have died. You've separated families due to the term yacht rock. Bro, nobody's like debating their musicianship. You cannot tell me this is not soft rock.
That is rock. That's not soft rock.
You know, instead of rock, how about stone? We can call it stone. I knew it. I knew it. We could watch this Rick Beato video. I don't know much about yacht rock though, so I don't know how well this is gonna go. So this is yacht rock is bullshit. And he's talking about a recent HBO documentary on yacht rock.
Okay, so I just watched the documentary Yacht Rock that is on HBO Max last night. And one of the reasons that I haven't watched it yet, it's been out for a while, is because I find that term yacht rock completely offensive. As a matter of fact, I've interviewed many of the people that are in the movie. And they
I honestly didn't even know what yacht rock was before this. It's like soft rock apparently, and so what if it's offensive, bro? There's plenty of genres that are labeled as something that people don't want it labeled as.
They've told some of the same stories when I've interviewed them. But I've never once mentioned the term yacht rock on this channel because I find it not only offensive and derogatory.
Derogatory. You know, people have died. You've separated families due to the term, the phrase yacht rock.
Oversimplification of the diverse music that's talked about in the movie. As a matter of fact, if you ask any of the people that I've interviewed that are friends of mine that are in the movie privately what they think about that term, they all have the exact same response that Donald Fagen had when he was asked if he would be in the documentary, which was this.
Hello, Mr. Fagen.
Yeah, this is he.
Yeah, hi. This is Garrett. I'm the one making this yacht rock documentary. Yeah.
Yourself.
So I've been talking to a lot of people that have played with you.
You should quit the biz.
And Steely Dan over the years, and I was wondering if you'd sit down with me and talk about your music and this genre.
And what genre is that?
What did you just call it?
Yacht rock.
Oh, yacht rock. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
I knew it. I knew it. Bro, this AI overview thing is so dangerous, dude. Oh, sorry, we're missing the cam here. All right, anyways, this AI overview thing is really dangerous, man. Like, I know it's prone to give, like, wrong information sometimes, bro, but I looked up whether or not you could play a Switch game online with it. Well, I just in Google, and then it showed up here, and it gave me a whole list of steps, and I was like, yeah, you probably can if it's saying that. No, you cannot. It just made up shit. It just made up shit completely, dude. It's crazy. This thing is so crazy, dude. You're better off going to Wikipedia, dude. Originally known as the West Coast sound. Oh, West Coast L here. Adult-oriented rock. Commonly associated with soft rock, one of the most commercially successful genres from the mid-70s to 1980s. It was considered a pejorative term. So it's a derogatory term. How is it really derogatory? It's like, bro, you're like so soft that this offends you. It's rock for pussies, basically, yeah. So it's associated with a yuppie yacht owner enjoying smooth music while sailing. So key defining rules of the genre, keep it smooth, even when it grooves, with more emphasis on the melody than on the beat. Keep the emotions light, even when the sentiment turns sad. Always keep it catchy, no matter how modest or deeply buried in the tracklist the tune happens to be. Steely Dan, the Doobie Brothers, Michael McDonald. All right.
I think Donald Fagen hung up on me.
Now, the guys in the documentary are incredibly gracious. They want their music out there. They're not going to say what they really think about this, but I'll say it. You guys are amazing musicians, songwriters.
Bro, nobody's like debating their musicianship. Are they? I really don't think they're debating the musicianship. You're just getting like butt hurt. Haven't heard that. Or let's say ass mad instead. You're just getting ass mad about, you know, the genre it's being labeled as.
They made brilliant music back during this time period. Well, who even coined this term yacht rock? Well, of course, it's two of the people that made the documentary, J.D. Reisner and Steve Huey. They're the main characters in it that are
These look like the type of people that would enjoy yacht rock.
Narrating this thing. They had this thing called Channel 1.
No one's even saying yacht rock is bad. Well, I am, but
101 that was on early YouTube.
I think it's more like the Toto playing to his crowd. Probably.
Essentially.
I mean, hey, this is not completely working, that's for sure. What genre is Enya in? In your ass. I don't fucking know, dude.
I call skit cringe, that are really cringy skits of people running around dressed in leisure suits with captain's hats and mustaches, looking ridiculous, and basically make fun of this era of music or anything that has Michael McDonald singing on it and a Fender Rhodes piano. And what this documentary does is that it cherry picks very specific songs that fit the narrative.
I saw Tony mention this, but yeah, dude, this guy's the king of cherry picking. So that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting to have him talk about cherry picking ever. The comments are funny too. Everyone's upset.
To actually make it all make sense, when really a lot of these artists, Steely Dan and Toto, are radically different from Kenny Loggins and Ambrosia. It pretends that all these artists and songs are exactly the same by lumping together all these nuanced styles. Jazz-influenced rock, gospel-influenced folk, funk-influenced R&B, into a single dismissive banner that's complete BS. Let's just talk about a couple of the bands that are
More rage bait, yeah.
there. Steely Dan.
True, Enya did used to be called New Age music.
Steely Dan began in 1972. Their first big hit was Real.
You fucker. This fucking guy. Hold on, mute.
Actually, in this documentary, you'd think that Steely Dan was just the Asia record. Did you know that the most played Steely Dan song on Spotify that has over 100 million plays is Ricky Don't Lose That?
Hey. This fucking guy.
One eternity later.
Dude, this is such a fucking... This is like boomer, large YouTuber privilege, man. Like, do you know anybody else who could play large records like this and not get a strike or claim? It's crazy. Yeah, that's cool, man. It's still yacht rock, though. Sorry to tell you that. I'm the only one that can hear it right now. Bro, how long can he play this for? Like, I would debate whether or not that was even fair use, man. He was just jamming out to the song in the middle of his video. That was debatable whether or not that was fair use.
Interviewed Michael Omartian, who's mentioned multiple times in the documentary, but then was not interviewed. I asked him about the piano part on this song that he played and how it's really kind of country in style. What would you call the style of playing, though, of your accompaniment here in the verse?
Oh, almost country.
Right?
Isn't it?
Right?
Did I do that?
Hopefully we're fine with this. I don't know.
I also interviewed Skunk Baxter that plays the guitar solo on this, and he talked about that.
Just some straight ahead stuff. And then playing the pentatonic
Oh, dude, damn it. I didn't mute it that time.
scale against a chord.
La, 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 la.
A pentatonic.
Don't strike me. Don't copyright me. No. Talk over it. Talk over it.
So, the Little Beaver, Curtis Mayfield,
Bro, what the fuck, dude? It's like he doesn't want people to react to his shit.
Jimi Hendrix, sliding fifths stuff. Now we can move out. Now it's my turn.
God damn it, dude. Stop. What the hell? He's like blasting it, too. He's blasting it.
From the typical and stretch.
A couple years after Pretzel Logic, that Ricky Don't Lose That Number was on, they did a record called The Royal Scam in 1976. The Royal Scam features songs like Kid Charlemagne
This fucking guy, dude.
that I featured on this channel.
He's like, all right, guys, so to make sure you guys don't react to this video, I'm going to play a bunch of 1970s rock as loud as possible while you can still understand my voice throughout the entirety of this video.
As a matter of fact, I interviewed the rhythm section. Bernard Purdy on the
Like, I need like a low-pass filter, like ready to go.
drums that played with Aretha Franklin, along with the bass player Chuck
Fuck me, dude. Fuck me.
Rainey, that's on a million records.
What the hell, bro? He's playing it so loud that he almost, like, his voice is like barely cutting through.
Both of them are.
Skip ahead a little bit. Like, he's just jamming out to the song at this point.
Narrative. I've had them both
There
on
we
my
go.
channel, in addition to Larry Carlton, who wasn't in there, that played the amazing solo.
What the hell, dude? What the hell? Muting it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, it's playing. He's just jamming out to it.
It was incredibly influential to people of my era growing up. This was a solo that was the standard of guitar solo. Nobody thought of this as being soft rock or anything. This was serious fusion of jazz and rock music. Also asked Bernard Purdy when I interviewed him about the drum groove on Kid Charlemagne. Check it out.
This fucker.
Chuck Grandy on that.
Muting.
Like him. And if he were a bass player, he played just like me.
Another thing that was missing from the movie was the title track of the Asia record, the song Asia, which featured a Steve Gadd drum solo and Wayne Shorter incredible sax solo that were really influential to musicians of that time. I'm talking about this.
How does this prove that yacht rock is bullshit? So far, he's done nothing to like really defend against like that label of the genre. All he's doing is just showing a bunch of songs. Yeah, that break was fire though.
Times. Never once did we think this is soft rock or whatever they're trying to call it, or yacht rock.
I mean, soft rock, I feel like it's pretty fair, dude. I feel like it's pretty fair to call that soft rock. What would you guys call that if you're not calling it yacht rock?
This is nothing played on a yacht. This is stuff played by fusion musicians, the best musicians in the world. Because these are the people that were playing with Steely Dan.
Yeah, it's still soft rock. It's still yacht rock. He's doing nothing to, like, disprove that. Like, it would make a lot more sense if he was, like, saying, like, this is not soft rock, and then he plays, like, a metal song or something, you know? I don't know. You're not really... The point's not really strong here.
Another group that they focus on a lot in the documentary is Toto, because Toto played on everyone's records. Michael Jackson Thriller, it's Toto with Michael Jackson fronting, essentially. Basically, everything that Quincy Jones was doing at the time, every record he was producing, Toto was
strip
the
club rock.
section. They were doing all the parts. If you take a song like
light rock would be nicer than soft rock. It's really the same thing, though.
This?
You know, instead of rock, how about stone? We can call it stone. Gonna have to mute him again here. Okay, you guys have to hear this here. You cannot tell me this is not soft rock. Like, come on, dude. Come on, man. Smooth rock, like whatever you want to call it, dude. Stone, pebble.
That is rock. That's not soft rock. That's not yacht rock. Or this?
It's just really laid back. It's really laid back. I think that's really what it is. That's the distinction I would hear. Muting it.
Second most streamed song on Spotify.
What the hell, dude? It's blowing my mind, dude. This whole thing is just him playing copyrighted music.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my god, dude.
That's not soft rock. That's ridiculous. Another one of the artists that the documentary focused on was Christopher Cross.
No, please, no more.
Now, Christopher Cross, I made a video about the greatest solo that you can't hear, which is the ending solo to Ride Like the Wind, which is about
no, please don't do it.
From being one of the best rock guitar solos of the 80s. Here it is.
Muting it. God, dude, he's so old, dude. This is such old man shit, dude.
The yacht rock documentary. I don't like the term yacht rock. I wish people would never use that, and I won't use it again on this channel after this. And I wish that they hadn't focused on this narrative of Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins and that whole relationship there at the expense of all the other people that they tried to lump in there. And I love Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
I agree with that. Dude, it might not have been called soft rock back then, but compared to what has developed in the last 50 years, it totally is soft. Agreed.
They're great, great songwriters and musicians and incredibly important to that era. But Michael McDonald doesn't even belong in that conversation. He's in a conversation on his own and was an incredibly important part of so many of these records. Amazing. One of the best singers of that era. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. Leave a comment, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Okay, let's look at the comments here. Cool video. Show me the comments. Mr. Beato, I'm a black middle-aged musician and producer. As time and new generations discover great music like this, I've seen many styles recoin names of genres. It could be offensive to the songwriters because it wasn't their goal to be pigeonholed, the senseless term to be characterized to a stupid name like yacht rock, but it's still a blessing to have relevance for new music listeners. Yeah, that is true. Instead of calling it yacht rock, they could just forget about it forever. You know, that's the other option. We could go with that. The vast majority of humans who listen to Steely Dan, jazz rock, and the like have never owned yachts and never will. That is probably true. That is probably true. I just got my latest royalty check. Well, you know what else we could call it? Alcoholic rock. Is that Is that accurate? I just got my latest royalty check and saw that half the listeners listened while mentally categorizing it as the wrong term. I was so offended that I returned half the royalties. I prefer the Japanese labeling of this period. They call it West Coast/AOR, which isn't as snarky and frankly more accurate to an actual radio placement. Radio-friendly rock. Yeah, easy listening. I think easy listening might be even better. All I know is that when I type yacht rock in my Spotify search, the playlists I find give me hours of pure listening enjoyment. He's probably seething at these comments. I think you've gone over the top here. Yeah, way too far, Rick. Way too far. Divorce core? That's funny. Alimony rock? When I was young, this genre was called soft rock. I was too young to care. I just called it good music. It seems like a lot of people are not really agreeing with them. That listen to it, at least. Interesting. Okay, anyone who works in or around a record store these days will tell you that Steely Dan and Toto albums, once a dime a dozen filler for dollar bins, are now flying out the door for inflated prices. The kicker? It's kids that are buying them. The manufactured genre of yacht rock is directly responsible for this resurgence, and for even making guys like Christopher Cross cool again. Actually, was he ever cool before today? For 2 decades, bands like this were completely out of the picture and the opposite of cool. I understand Rick's sentiment, like hair metal, originated as a derogatory term. It's just so, like, it's sad. It's sad, man, to say it's derogatory. Like, it's just really kind of pathetic. But it's clearly directing a new generation to amazing music that otherwise wouldn't even know it exists. Yeah, they probably don't see it as an insult. I agree. Okay, that was interesting.